Real estate rehab and building science. Great quick story. So just recently, one of my wife's friends called and said that she's got a mold problem at one of the properties she owns. And she called the mold guy, and the mold guy said that it's the roofer guy's fault that he covered all the vents up and she's got mold. And I'm thinking, well, this doesn't make sense. Number one, why did you call somebody other than us? Number two, it just doesn't make sense. So I thought this would be a great, quick building science lesson. So let me give you a little background. This is a wood frame home built in 1940, and I'm going to take you through this kind of graphically, if you will, and don't laugh because I created all these all by myself. So we basically have two boxes. The lower box is the interior space we live in, and the upper box is the attic that we don't live in. And they're two totally different environments. So when she says that the roofer blocked the ventilation and caused the mold inside, I started thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh, there's mold all over the ceiling. It's coming down the walls because up in the attic, you've got a lot of hot, moist air that can't get out. It has saturated the ceiling and you've got a big problem. And she says, no, it's just localized. And I'm like, again, this doesn't make sense. Let me come out and take a look. So I get out there, and the first thing I notice is, indeed, the home does have ventilation. You can see it's got gable vents here that have been in there for over 80 years. Here is the home, and here is the vents. There's another one on the other side that you can't see, but you get my drift. So I did confirm that these are not blocked, and now my curiosity is piqued even more. So what do you mean by localized mold problem? And she's talking that she's got fungal growth around the receptacles and the light fixtures, and now it's starting to make sense to me. So here's your building science lesson. Back in 1940, we built very leaky homes, unlike today where we build igloo coolers that don't breathe. So for 80 plus years, we've had air coming in, water coming in, things dry. Everybody's happy. It's not a real big deal like it is today. There's been one huge dynamic change to this home, and this is what I believe has caused the building science nightmare, if you will. It has had a huge total rehab to the home. Okay, so you can see it's gorgeous. It's an absolutely beautiful job. But what we have kind of done in essence is install an interior envelope or diaphragm or however you want to explain it. I'm trying to find a word that explains what I'm trying to say. So the yellow line representing, now you no longer have the massive air influx that we did before. So when she's experiencing the fungal growth around just these openings, what I believe is happening, in my opinion, because we have this new interior envelope, that we have focused airflow around the penetrations in the walls and the penetrations in the ceilings. And this, my friends, is what is causing the fungal growth. We have a clash of hot, moist air with a relatively cooler, drier air on the interior, and voila, you've got fungal growth. This is all required, all these penetrations are required to be sealed by the Florida Building Code, and that should prevent a lot of these things from happening. So while I am accessing the ladder to look at the gable vents, just to throw salt in the wound here, the very first thing I see when I get on my ladder is this. Look at this flashing, this huge gap at a butt joint that's been caulked. Look at the gap here. Well, where does the water go? Well, duh, it goes in the hole. This is not how roofs are flashed. I could go on and on. Look at the size of the gap around the electrical mass penetration. It's huge. Where do you think the water's gonna go, knucklehead? So this goes on, and I don't know what kind of sealant or caulk they used. It looked like all-purpose caulk, and that was a poor job. Just in and of itself was poor. Again, where does the water go? Well, duh, it's going in the hole. This was just a poorly done job. And my last salt in the wound is, look at the overhang here. The drip edge is literally overhanging the roof by 2, maybe 3 inches. So, lesson learned, use licensed contractors, pull permits, and have it done right, because this is now a small nightmare for somebody that has purchased this house, and she's got to fix all these things now. So there's your building science lesson for the day. We'd love to represent you, as always. Easy to get a hold of us at inspectigator.com or 407-678-HOME. Thanks so much.